One. All right, guys, how are you? How you all doing?
Great. How about you?
I'm doing well. Happy Monday, everybody.
Yeah, happy Monday.
Happy
And
Monday.
looks like a few people are starting to join. Thanks for coming by. And yeah, so Dennis, it's good to have you, man. It's always good to have you, and always enjoy your morning flights. Yeah. So, what is going on with you in Georgia?
Oh gosh, I'm waiting for it to either warm up or get dry, preferably both. But it seems like when we have dry weather, it's cold, and when we have warm weather, it's rainy. So I'm just waiting for an opportunity. There's a place I want to fly. It's called the America's Fun Spot of Atlanta, and it's just an amusement park, but it's something I've been wanting to capture for a long time, quite a while. I don't mean a long time, a few weeks, but the weather's not been cooperating.
How far away from your home is that?
15 minutes, maybe.
Oh, that's easy peasy stuff, right?
Yeah, it's right here in Fayetteville.
So it looks like we have
So Dennis,
guys coming in.
what attracts you to that particular location?
You know, when I was in Australia, which was it's been 3 months now, but anyway, when I was there, Matt and I went to a place. I don't remember the name of this place where we went, but it was an amusement park, and it had a wild mouse. I don't know if you know what the wild mouse is at Cedar Point Park, but it had a kind of a wildcat, wild mouse kind of ride, and lots of other things that were high rides and so on. And we went there, and he flew. I flew too, but he got some amazing footage, and I've been jealous of that ever since.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I'm serious. Yeah, but anyway, we have a place like that. So, but it's closed except on weekends, right? So it's perfect for what I would like to do, and I don't know. I'd just like to go there and see if I can do better with it.
That's a good challenge, right?
It is.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, right? I mean, because it's kind of part of what you want to do when you fly. I mean, you don't want to do the same old thing all the time. You want to kind of push yourself a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, agreed.
It'll happen.
Well, Jenna, have you had a chance to fly your Avata much lately? I know it's been cold.
No, not since the last time.
Avata.
All right.
Avata.
Everybody's doing that now. I'm kind of getting tired of it, but everybody's doing it.
Well, when it's on the weekend, it'll be different. We can say the word all we want.
Yeah, that's right.
So, so tonight's topic is basically, we're going to discuss all the copycats that are coming out to kind of emulate some of the Avata features, right? iFlight has one, and I know Jenna, you found another one that you thought it was interesting.
I thought I saw one from Rotor Riot, but I was on their website snooping around and I didn't actually see it. So maybe I'm just hallucinating. That happens when you get to be old and stuff. So
yeah,
that's what I've heard. Yeah.
So the question to the panel and also to the audience is, would you like to be able to get a gimbal with a camera on it, of course, that you would be able to mount, just like, let me make a big screen there. Oh, no, it went away. Be able to mount on your own home-built 5-inch quad. I mean, I would want it for my 5-inch. For long range.
Now you're talking about 2-axis, 3-axis, or what?
No, it would be just the 1-axis. I'd be happy with the 1-axis.
1-axis.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Right, because otherwise, I mean, when you start out, your pitch has to be as you want it to be flying.
Right.
So, I agreed. Yeah.
I mean, kind of would be nice to have a little bit of control over how you fly.
The Avata. You can adjust the Avata though when you're in flight, right?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Just like
that's nice. That's a nice feature.
Yeah. And I mean, honestly, this thing isn't that. I mean, sophisticated. I'm not insulting DJI. I love you guys, but right. I mean.
Oh, sorry.
I just think that I mean, they
Thank you.
can't have the patents control the market on that element of a camera gimbal in a little quad. So
Yeah.
why
Right.
has it not translated into something that you can build? I mean, my God, we build these things from the ground up. Why can't we add that as a component?
That's an interesting thought. They might come up with that. I know when the Mavics came out, the Mavic 2s, when those came out, there was an option for the zoom or for the Pro, right? And you could buy the other camera from their repairs. I don't know. I don't remember the details behind it, but it was basically from their parts store. But you could buy the other camera. If you had a Pro, you could buy a zoom camera, and you could switch your camera from a Pro to a zoom.
I remember that.
Yeah, and I mean, these I mean, I was actually teaching a friend how to fly a drone, and she crashed the Mavic Pro in a tree.
Right.
Came down, blah blah blah. I mean, long story short, I mean, it didn't break the camera per se, but it broke the cable, so it needed to be replaced, like two places. And that was the first time that I had ever worked on any sort of thing like electronics like that. But thank God for YouTube. There's so many videos out there on it. And I just followed the things on YouTube, ordered the camera, ordered parts, took everything apart. They actually replaced the camera.
Right.
Mavic 2 Pro or the Mavic Pro, works.
Yeah. Yeah. So maybe at some point they'll make an option like that available for consumer use. Have you had any look inside the Avata to see how that camera actually connects?
I don't. I haven't taken it apart.
Because it may be that they're very close to doing that, right? Most things are base now. Right?
I mean, you could buy the camera replacement cameras, Dennis. So
But how does it attach? Does it have?
Yeah.
Is it like a component attachment, or is it like a ribbon cable like the Mavic 2 was?
I think the ribbon cables are in the sides here because it's already attached to, like on the sides here. That's it. So
with that said, go ahead, Jenna.
No, I was just saying so if you've got those attachment points on either side.
Yeah. But then there's still the challenge of controlling it, right? You want to be able to
software.
Point it up and down. So
yeah, in the protocol, they're going to definitely lock it down. But let's hope that another manufacturer will put that on there. Hey, with that said, I just put a quick little video for you guys to watch. So let me get that queued up here and I'll play it. I'm hoping it comes out with audio, but if it doesn't, I'll have to retry it again. Let me see. Yeah, audio's full blast. This is what I've been doing. I just want to give you guys a sneak peek at it. Here we go. This is the pocket earlier in the morning.
Mom, where are we going today?
We're going skiing at Park City.
What runs are we doing, Mom?
I think we're going to start at Eagle and Temptation, and then I've got to check to see what's groomed.
And who do we have back here?
This is Pat.
Good morning.
Stick your head in here, man. All right, so here's what we're looking at. Temperatures in the low teens. Not mid-teens, right?
Oh, it was 12.
14 when I crested Park.
Really?
Okay, low teens.
Yeah, it's colder down here usually, believe it or not.
And of course, there's a 10 to 15 degree difference up at the top of the mountain. So we're gonna be having a good time. Just leaving the house. And yeah, so it'll be fun. I'm gonna be the guest of Jan and Pat today. I'm privileged to be here. I can't believe this place is so nice and beautiful. Yeah, what I wanted to show you this morning is this low, kind of foggy here in the valley. I'm not sure you call this
Fog.
valley.
Yeah, it's fog in the valley.
Fog in the valley. So yeah, and look into your
Once
right,
again, this
you
is
see
the pocket here.
Back in here, that's actually, you see the lights, that's the Olympic Training Center. Correct?
And again, we were talking about using the FPV drones, and this is what I'm trying
Correct.
and pitching the camera down.
Skeleton
70
and
meter
jumps.
jumps.
Yeah,
Lots of good stuff happening over there.
right. So I'm starting to get the editing bug. I ran into a period, I just had this creator block that I just did not want to create. But lately I've been creating, so I'm finally putting together what the fastest mini drone is in a quarter-mile race. So we got 5 mini drones racing. We have the Altail Nano Plus, we got the Hubble Zeno Pro,
And I did that video with
Mini,
Brad.
the
Incorporated that together.
DJI Mini 2, and the DJI Mini 3. So stay tuned for that. That's coming out soon. Thanks for joining, guys. See you later. Bye.
Okay, so that's a quick intro. I don't want to give away the whole thing, but it's going to be a conglomerate of all the camera, GoPros, the FPVs, use them any way that you can. So that's coming up. So Brad and I, in December 16th, we got together, and Brad brought his, you brought 3 drones. So which ones did you bring that day, Brad?
Brought the Mini 2 and Fly More combo kit that I had. I brought the Mini 3 Pro with the RC. And then, what other drone did I bring? Oh, I brought my Air 2S as well, the Fly More combo. So I had all 3 of the drones I own right now. And I still have the original Mavic from back when I first got into DJI products. So I've kept that one. So that one's still in my hangar, I guess you would say.
Yeah, we're definitely getting quite a fleet. I know, Jenna, you have quite a fleet.
Oh, I do. I mean, I still have my Spark and everything else, Mavic Air 2S.
I always wanted a Spark, but never got around to getting that one.
Yeah, so with that said, I'm going to queue up a video of Brad and I doing that Mini. And this is just in the teaser again.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the Duranafy channel. I'm here with Brad from the River City RVA channel, and we're going to be doing a drag race today, right?
Yep.
Which drones did you happen to bring today for the race?
For the first part, I guess we're going to use my Mini 2, and then I've got the Mini 3 Pro along with that, and with the RC controller, and then also brought the Air 2S if we decide we want to try to play around with that some.
So here's the idea, guys. We're going to be flying straight down that way, 402 meters away, which is a quarter mile. We did the calculations using a good buddy to do the calculations, Google. So we're going to fly each one of our drones 402 meters away, and we're going to put them in ludicrous mode for the Altail Nano Plus that I have. We're going to put it in sports mode.
Right, sport mode.
And
here we go.
I also have the Zeno Mini Pro and the Phoebe Mini. There we go. And not just the Phoebe Mini Pro, I think is what they call it. And we're going to test to see which one of these guys is the fastest quarter mile racer. Okay?
Yeah.
So that means we start at 0 miles an hour.
Yep.
Or kilometers an hour, and then when it flies right above us,
Over top. Can you can see it?
Stop.
All right.
And determine the speed of each one of these drones.
Yep.
So you ready?
Yep. Let's get them going.
All right. That sounds.
I think it's bright. The sun's hitting it just right. It's really bright in the sky right now. Not sure if it's GoPro's picking it up, but it's up there.
I'll bring it down.
I'll give you a sneak peek at
Very nice.
Very nice.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
So we spent about 2
Oh,
hours.
nice.
Get set,
three,
go.
2, 1.
Down the middle,
Go.
get right straight ahead.
Hit it
Ludicrous
back.
mode. Here
Looks
we
like
go.
I'm coming back
Ludicrous
pretty
mode.
straight.
25 miles an hour, 30 miles an hour.
And that's
a
a
lot of
teaser.
audio.
And that's the teaser, okay? So
That was a fun.
You
That was a fun
clue
day.
on there at the end, Betty.
yeah, so I'm just finishing it up. I did the rough draft, actually almost done. So the intro, as you saw, and then you just saw the end. But middle of it's got all the meat. So if you want to skip all the funny things we did along the way, because we did run into some funny things. Our nose were dripping and things, and helicopters were coming by, and the dumb things that friends do together, right?
That's right.
Yeah,
That was
That looks like great fun. How many drones? I didn't count. How many drones were involved in this?
it was
I think
5
we did
mini drones.
Five,
Only
yeah.
five, yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
That wasn't there supposed to be a so-called race of the drone that we won't mention down in South Florida?
yeah, and it was kind of a surprise. I'm not giving anything away. You'll have to check it out, but it was a surprise who won. Okay, so Mini 3, Mini 2, Fimi Mini, Xeno Mini Pro, and the Altel Nano Plus. So, which one in the audience, or you guys here on the panel, which one do you guys think would win? I mean, who would you put your money on if you're going to the racetrack and you put your money down on the horse? Which horse would you pick? Right?
I don't know.
Yeah, I can tell you that I'm not real impressed with the speed of the Mini 3. The Mini 2 felt faster to me than does the Mini 3, but it's not a scientific observation. It's just a feeling. But beyond that, I couldn't say. I don't know any of these. I don't know the thing.
Yeah, I don't know. You could pick a Fumi or something. I don't
So
know.
what you're trying to say, Dennis, is you've never drag raced your drones before?
No, no, that's not something that I have tried to do.
And I'll tell you, doing that with Al and I did it. That was the first for me, and I think it was a pretty unique thing. And we might have to end up doing it again. We had a few lessons learned,
Yeah,
and especially audio issues. But we both have upped our game a little bit, and we might revisit this in the near future.
yeah. But I can tell you this: if it was me, if I was flying the Mini 3, the Mini 2, and the Mavic 3, if it was me, the winner would be me. Because I got to fly all those drones.
Fair enough.
Okay, so I'll give you a little sneak peek here. Let me add it to the stream. Okay, so valid question, guys. I mean, really valid question, Dennis. How would you do? How do you quantify? How do you make it objective instead of subjective, right? So one of the things that you need is good audio, and of course you need to know the distance. You got to be a quarter mile away, because everybody thinks, let's do the drag race and start from point where you fly and go as fast as can. But
Right.
I found a different way to do it, and so
Go. Here we go. Heading back. Looks like I'm coming back pretty straight. Might have to turn it slightly. Yep. Hitting about 35 miles an hour now. 35 something.
How far away are you?
And I'm about 600 feet away. 500.
I see it.
400.
It's coming fast.
All right, you call it.
Stop.
okay, I'm not giving it away. That's why I removed it real quick. Okay. But once again, Dennis, you have some pretty good intuition there. I'll tell you that much. Okay.
Oh, what?
You have good intuition, thinking that the Mini
Oh.
2 is faster than the Mini 3.
Yeah, I'm not surprised by that at all. Yeah. Yeah.
And
It's a different layout, right? The layout of the props is different, and I expect there's a cost with that. I kind of like the look, but technically, I imagine that the level platform for those props is probably an advantage for speed.
True.
hey, Jenna, I like even numbers better than odd numbers. 29 or 30.
Lucky 20. Well, I was born on the 13th, so
Actually, it's divisible by 3 and 7, so you're good, right?
yeah.
It's
We
not
all
a
know-
problem.
Captain Ray's pointing out the numbers, and
Yeah.
we all know who I am on that list, right?
Yeah, you're number one, numero uno.
I'm proud of that.
See now, if I had done this, see, I would have gotten somebody. We would have been like side by side. We've got pictures of each drone's just sitting there like this, going back and forth. Added the sound effects of the drag race, both taken off at the same time, going down the field. Have another camera set up so you're kind of buzzing the camera, turning around the goalposts and buzzing the cameras on the way back.
Yeah.
I think that's the way I would do it too.
Yeah.
A drag race by definition is from a dead stop.
Yeah.
It is, and that's what we did.
Yeah.
So
That's what we did.
That's exactly what we did. Well, you'll have to watch to be able to see it. Now, I had done another drag race, and I did it with Robbie at one of the high schools. And because, Robbie didn't have any drones at the time in 2018. I think it was 2020. In 2020, late 2020. So I said, I met him in the hospital when I was sick. He came over and visit. And I said, when I get out, I'll take you out and show you which ones you would like. So he was thinking he was going to get this. He liked the Spark. Okay. Everybody likes the Spark, but we were both flying, and I got to the other end of the goalpost so much faster with my Mini. No, I was flying just the Fimi at the time, the X8 2020, I think it was. Yeah. And he was like, "Oh my gosh, you're all the way at the end. I haven't even made it to the football field." So that kind of triggered some thoughts in me. And I'm like, okay, well, let's quantify which one is faster and by how much. So that's when I just, started thinking, how am I going to do that and be objective about it, be scientific about it. So anyway, that's the technique I came up with Robbie that day. And, that day was it wasn't a fair flight comparison at all. You had the Spark, the Phoebe, the Mavic 2 Pro.
So the first, no, go ahead now.
Yeah, and I can't remember. I had another drone. I think no. And then I had the original DJI Mavic Mini. Remember, they called it Mavic Mini, but then they dropped the Mavic part when the Mini 2 came out. But yeah, the Mini 2 wasn't out. So I flew those four to show him, because he thought he was going to get the spring, and then he said it was too slow for him, But anyway, your thoughts about drag racing?
That'd be a challenge to do. I wish I'd been there. Because
it is,
you
because
keep a straight line, right?
Yeah.
If you don't keep a straight line, you're losing time. It would, and that's hard. It's hard to do a straight line to some single point that's exactly a quarter mile away.
It was a little difficult.
Yeah. So it would have been fun to watch for sure.
We probably could have used an extra person or two to help spot and mark the start and finish, and instead of us trying to fly and record video all at the same time.
Oh yeah, right.
And commentate, we were trying to figure out how to make sure we audibly said stop so that Al could sync it up in video, and
right.
It's quite a bit. We learned a lot at that particular drag race.
Yeah, and luckily, like I said earlier, I already had experience doing it, so I kind of already knew how I was going to set it up, and it made it go a little faster. But if you go in there cold, man, you're going to struggle trying to figure this out. So anyway, it was a fun day, right, Brad?
Yeah, I'd like to do it again.
Yeah.
It was nice. Temperature wasn't too bad. We had on light jackets, and it was a nice day back in December. Yeah.
So I'm going to pull up my video editor. Maybe I can find these files. And just to kind of give you a brief glimpse of, what it takes to do the editing and get it all down right. Let me see. Flash Integral.
What editor do you use, Al?
Oh man, I've just been using this VSDC video editor. It works for me. You know, I used to use Premiere, but I stepped away from it because of the cost. It just became a little cost prohibitive for me. I just didn't want to keep spending.
I avoided it because of cost. The ones I like are DaVinci Resolve. That's my go-to, and LumaFusion. But now I'm doing DaVinci Resolve on the iPad, so that's a cool thing.
That's a free one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
free, right? Resolve is free, right?
Yes. Well, there's an option to buy an advanced version. You get some things that, like videos 4K and greater, for example, comes part of the studio package and so on. But yeah, basically the product is free. If you're going to do everything 1920, probably the free product is all you'll ever need. And it's very, very good. It has a lot of great features. So, but yeah, I like that. And LumaFusion. I use VSDC. Interestingly, when I first got into these quadcopters, I used to watch this guy, Quadcopter 101.
Oh, yeah.
And, I don't remember his name because it's been years since I watched him. But he
I know
videos with VSDC.
And that's how I got turned on to it, Dennis. Same thing. Because, you know, if you ever watch him, he'll clap like 3 times. And what he's doing is creating 3 sharp peaks in his audio, and then he can sync the multiple cameras to that, to the clap. And so he'll always go, hey, check out my shirt. It opens up his arms. That's another thing that he does to sync up his videos. To you know, the multiple camera shots are always hard. I had 4 to work with each time. Right. So I had to sync up the audio that we were recording. I had to sync up the drone, the screen recorder, and then the GoPro. So you had to sync up 4 of those to kind of give it that interesting look. I'm still trying to.
And you had one video we didn't have audio at all, right?
Yeah, and luckily we had the GoPro audio that I was able to use to sync it all up.
Yeah.
So it is a challenge. There's no easy way to do this, at least that I found. Unless you would have somebody spotter all the way at the other end with it, you know, you're on the cell phone saying, "Okay, stop now," or whatever. But,
so does that program that you have doesn't have like auto sync? I mean, like Premiere did or does. I mean,
what's that?
For audio that you can
so that's huge.
And I want to point out Jim's droning is correct that the desktop version of DaVinci Resolve free does 4K, but the iPad version does not.
Well, that's pretty rude.
But that's the way it is. So what I was referring to was the iPad version of DaVinci Resolve.
Yeah.
So, they even the free version, I believe. I have the studio version, so I can't really. I could be mistaken, but I can say that the studio version of DaVinci Resolve will sync multiple cameras based on audio, and it will also. I believe I one time synced cameras based only on what the camera saw. Because if you have like footage from a Mavic, that footage has no sound. You're not going to sync audio on that one. So I don't remember how it was that I pulled that one off, but I did that too. Synchronization with DaVinci Resolve. So yeah, all that stuff.
All right. So I mean, so when you record on, so when you record on, your drone footage has no audio. So how do you sync up the video that doesn't have an audio, right?
So I used to do that back when
Go ahead.
Go ahead. I thought you were asking a question, but apparently you weren't. So you go ahead with what your train of thought was.
Yeah, I think we're having a little bit of lag, so that's why I stopped.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, that's the other challenge, because, audio is easy to sync up with, with the spikes on, but
Right.
yeah, with your drone shots, coming from any of our drones, there's no audio being recorded on that video at all.
Right. Now, back in the day, when it wasn't DJI Fly, and I'm talking only DJI because that's all I know. But it used to be you could capture the audio on your cache video, right? So
Right.
if you pulled the cache video, that synced up automatically. Well, it didn't sync up automatically, but it had the same start point as the video that was from the drone, right?
Right.
So if you synced the cache to whatever audio you had, and I've done this before, if you sync the cache from the video to whatever audio you had, then that synchronization is good. And you can then align your drone footage with that synced cache footage, and you're good to go.
Agreed.
You have to have more pieces than if you had the audio right on the drone's footage.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was just thinking you could hold your phone up to it, and then you could take have the drone take a picture, just video your phone while you're speaking or something, and say, it is.
If you can get that, the phone is a great idea, especially what you're doing right there. If you can get some point at which all cameras are pointing at some object and some event occurs, whether it's a time passes or a light flashes or whatever it is, then you're good to go. You can sync by that.
Just speak, and then you can,
yeah,
something.
But the time, a stopwatch, count down, count up, any of that's good.
And that's why you need that screen recorder on your phone, Jenna.
Yeah.
Because then you're recording your audio at the same time as you're pressing the video button. It records everything that you're doing on your phone. And that's why it works. I'm not going to be able to show it. I'm just having a little bit of technical difficulties. Maybe I will, but I'll just continue to talk a little bit. Hey, Jenna, when you get a chance, can you pull up that iFlight quadcopter we were discussing? I can't seem to find it again.
Yeah, the Defender 25. Ken did a really good job with the review. I was at the iFlight offices, and I didn't come out of the offices looking like he did. But I have a love-hate relationship down there.
Okay.
But,
Totally. Let me see if I can view my.
Ken's got a review, and Captain Drone's got a review, and Kirby's got a review, and Riz Miller's got a review. Going Wilder, but we would stick with Ken's because he had an accident.
What?
With the drone.
Oh.
Okay. With the drone. Brad stood up in attention on that one.
I saw. Well, I know what you're talking about now because I saw the video.
Yeah. Well, it's his thumbnail, but.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so in Jim's drone, he's talking about the Defender 25. You have which 25 do you have, Jenna, from iFlight?
Which video?
Oh no! I'm sorry. Which quadcopter?
Oh,
you have the City 25, don't you?
Yeah.
Sorry.
I got this one in the Nazgul, which when it gets warm out, and I'll take that out for a little bit of a spin.
Yeah, because basically you cut your teeth on that one, right? Your FPV.
No, right? I like that drone. It's like a little version of the Avata. It's in the next room because I took it apart because we were playing with trying to get the one I built, and that connected up to Betaflight. We're having issues, so I got to pop the bottom of it back in one of these days.
All right, what did I do with that panel? Ah, there it is. I see it now.
Yeah, they make good drones.
Yeah, they really do.
Yeah.
So Dennis, when you used to go up for sunrise up to that lake, that was an hour and a half from you. Have you been up there lately?
Well, lately it's been cold, right? I don't tend to go there in the wintertime, but yeah, I go to that area a lot because it's about 10 minutes from my son's house. Right. But no, I don't tend to. Well, with my wife in China, I don't go up there as much either. They'll come down and visit me more than I go up and visit them. But I guess I'm just lazy. But
that just always seemed like, and I know it's cold now, but that always seemed like a really nice place to go and fly.
Oh, it's beautiful. I like to go there. Even if I'm not flying, I like to go there. But right now, it's not comfortable.
And Dennis, we don't like to use the word lazy. We like to use conservative.
Conservative. I will latch on to that word. It's a great word.
Well, I call it low drag, right? You don't have to worry too hard.
No reason to spend the energy that doesn't need to be spent.
Right.
Right.
Yep.
Yep. All right, let me see.
That's Lake Lanier you're talking about, Brad.
Right.
There's actually another one up there. It's about 30 minutes away from there. About the same size as Lake Lanier, and I have never been. But one of these days, I hope to go there and fly as well. So.
I think what I think about sometimes with you and Lake Lanier is when you got your brand new drone hung up in the tree.
Mavic 3.
Yep. All that work you had to do going back and forth to get that out of the tree.
Up there overnight. That was nerve-wracking for me. I don't worry. I really don't. I don't worry about anything, but that bothered me.
Yeah, I've treed the FEMA Mini overnight too, and a storm came through and knocked it out of the tree. And what did I break? I broke the nose on it, and that was it. I was really lucky. And I still fly it to this day. The 2018 FEMA. I really do like it.
It was just shy of 30 feet up. I know because I got it out with a 30-foot pole. And
that's almost exactly what Dobo did in his video. They're almost exactly 30 feet because he went and bought an extension pole for painting. I think it was 24 feet long, and then he had a 7-foot ladder, right?
Yeah, ladder, and he's what 6 feet or whatever. He's up there.
He's standing on a ladder with this. Oh my!
I didn't see a video of that, but that's what he said he did.
Did he even consider what might go wrong?
Falling off the ladder. Now, what we use to knock our racing drones out of the tree is we use a PVC pole. But you know how racing drones, you could drop in the sky, and most of the time they survive, right?
Yeah, but if you
literally we just throw that thing right at it, you know.
Oh, you threw it,
buddy,
like a javelin.
Exactly. Or you have your buddy just fly right into it and knock it off.
Yeah,
woo.
I'd have a tough time throwing a javelin at my $3,000. Something wrong with that picture.
Yeah,
especially when you just got it. You had just got it too, right?
Like 2 days old.
Hey, yeah, but you have DJI Care, so you still got pieces to return.
Yeah, I had DJI Care. I also had State Farm insurance, so it was no big deal. I mean, I got that thing repaired.
You get something back, right? So
yeah.
Yeah.
Just the hassle of it.
Yeah, Scott, poor Scott. He's shouting me out all over the place, and we're not shouting out anybody that's in the chats. But thank you, Scott. And yes, he was ready to make that drive from Tallahassee to come help me out. Thankfully, it wasn't necessary to do.
to get to you again. I know we had a wonderful time when you hosted Brad and I overnight when we were driving to Spin Up.
Absolutely.
Thank you for doing that. That was really nice of you.
That was fun.
Back and forth. That was fun. Yep.
And then we got in your go-kart, your little golf cart, and let's go fly drones. And he's like, yeah, I got the perfect spot. And he took it to this, remember that running trail you took us to? They had that that running trail that went under the road. So they built like a little tunnel to go through. And he goes, we can fly right here. And Dennis is blind. I could go flying through there and somebody could come running across. And here's the freaking drone staring at your face, you know. Like,
it wouldn't work.
But I did bounce off your roof. I did a little roof cleaning for you, right?
You did. You got that one leaf that was there. You got that off.
Yeah, I got that leaf off there. Yeah.
That wouldn't be the first time. Dennis has been on his roof once or twice himself.
I have. Which one? I think the Mavic 2 landed itself there.
Yeah, it did. It did. I remember that. And then there was one other time I think you bounced the house or something, didn't you? A long time ago? I don't know. I can't remember.
Yeah. I've put them there on purpose, and I've seen it happen by accident. I only remember one accident that it landed there. That was, I don't remember what the circumstance was, but for whatever reason, the Mavic 2 was coming down, and I guess I didn't have control over it, lateral control or something. I don't remember anymore. But it did.
Yeah, it landed right on the roof.
Right on my roof.
And it landed okay too, right?
Yeah.
Landed
just
perfect.
Got a ladder and got up and collected.
At an angle.
That's better than in a tree.
Yeah, definitely.
Dennis is in the tree.
Or better than 200 feet in the air and just falling.
Yeah. No, I
found the editor.
It definitely landed itself. What's that?
Oh, sorry. Didn't mean to jump in there. Remember we're talking about syncing up all the cameras and everything, right?
Yes.
Now let me see if I can share the display. I got 3 displays here, so it might be a share screen. Let me see if I can pick the right one. No, I don't want to cancel that. Present screen, share screen.
So while you're doing that, I will address that for whatever reason, request YouTube now does not seem to highlight channel names unless they have an @ sign in front of them.
That's right.
It used to be that wasn't necessary, but
that just happened to you this past weekend, didn't it?
Well, that's the first time I noticed it. That people type request, because when I'm doing my live stream, the word request is very important to me, and it wasn't working. So
right.
Yeah.
Hey, so what you're looking at here is, I think this is the Mini 2 flight, but if you look at this, I'll make it as big as we can. I'll try to. Come on, camera. There we go. I got the mouse back over. I'll make it if I can. There we go. But you see here, these peaks are what I'm using to line up my cameras. As I was discussing.
Yeah.
But if you look at the video, this layer here, that's actually the drone video. But the screenshot is what makes it so much easier. I mean, now I'm not sure. Let's see if I put the cursor here. Yeah. You know, this layer right here is overriding all the other layers that's on top of it, right? So I'm not showing anything else. But that's what allowed me to sync up everything, all these different camera angles. And this is probably, one of the most complex ones here for this particular shoot on the Mini 2. So, you see the GoPro video being popped in and out, and then the screen recorder, and then I think this is another GoPro. Yeah, that's a GoPro there. So we had 2 GoPros, screenshots, screen recorder. And so it gets a little messy, you know what I mean? The point is, it gets messy. So it's not that easy to.
It's hard.
Yeah, it takes time, right? And then you got to do
That's
your
when you got
counter,
five. That was 5 videos, right? 5 of them.
right? And then you got your counter to worry about. You can see my counter sitting here. Let's see if I click on it. Want to show it? No, it's not going to show any kind of data on it. But you can see the counter there, and it's synced up when Brad said ready, set, go, or one. I think Brad likes to use 1, 2, 3, go, and I like to do ready, set, go. And so that's how the counter was synced up. You can see the peaks here with the part. So that's the idea, how to get all this stuff working, you know, trying to get all these shots together to work. And then when you get to the winter, yeah. And then what I do for the winter scenes, I create, I bundle them all into it's you know, a bundle. So I can throw them around a lot easier. So like they call it sprites and these, but you can see that I removed a lot of the complexity to be able to create this shot here, right? Now you see 5 different layers there, right?
Yeah.
And you can see there, but each one of those layers has at least 5 layers in it. So there's 25 layers working together here to create that shot. So that just gives you a bit of the complexity of how much time it takes to put something like this together.
Yeah.
So it's not an easy gig, right? But once you get on the roll, and that's why, you know, I had been going through some personal things with my wife, and so I just kind of stopped creating because I was just kind of overwhelmed. I don't think I've ever announced it on YouTube or anything, but I'm getting divorced, so and then
sorry to hear that.
Yeah, it's just the way it is, and but now I'm you know we're kind of both free of some of the things that, you know, were kind of bothering us. So with that said, you know, life moves on, and I think that wins a good family, right? And,
yep, make the most out of life.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we don't live very long in this life, so you might as well. Thank you, Brad. Appreciate you saying that. Prayers.
That's true.
And so I have not announced it, but you know, most of the people that are close to me, like Jenna and Brad, know, and now Dennis knows, and the rest of the guys in the chat know. So the Mark was in here. We got all the good folks. Got Ray Kelly, and so we are moving on. And now I'm starting to kind of get out of my shell again, and now I'm going to start making videos and traveling and having a good time visiting friends and enjoying. I mean, Brad, you've been such a help to me. Oh my gosh, and Jenna too. I mean, I can't tell you enough how much Brad is bringing me over to have dinner with Carrie, his wife. Wonderful steaks, wonderful, you know, just hanging out, doing stupid stuff, right? Like racing.
I love steak. That's why I love steak.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, I love having you over. I mean, you know, I'm here if you need me.
I know you are. You're always reaching out to me, and I appreciate that. And turning the page and moving on. Now I'm a single Al, playing, having fun, traveling, and enjoying the new lifestyle.
Speaking of that, Al, you got what? Just a couple more days left in Park City, and you head back to Richmond, Virginia.
I do. I do. I hit back on Thursday. I'm putting together the video about the film the film festival support that I did for them, the networking side, and then all the fun stuff. There's so many movies that they. So when you volunteer for the Sundance Film Festival, they'll give you like vouchers to go see movies that other people have to pay for. Okay. And you get access to the movies prior to being released. So went to see one really good movie. It was all in Spanish, so I had an advantage there because I don't have to translate it. The subtitles. It was called Radical. Unbelievable. It is about the school system in Mexico. And see the Indigo Girls. I don't know if you guys remember the Indigo Girls. Well, one of the things that they kind of got shunned away from public radio because of the fact that they were both lesbians, not to each other, but different partners. And it was a documentary of what they did, what the impact that they have on the rest of the community is because they're activists helping out indigenous Indians, helping them with their causes, and they write all about all these things, and they do such a wonderful work. That was a really good video. And then there was another one called Pretty Girl. That was the Brooke Shields documentary. And we all think Brooke Shields had a really privileged life. And it was 180 degrees out of phase, guys. She was had a horrible mother that today would probably be arrested because she promoted Brooke Shields to be naked at the age of 13. Right? You imagine that? That would be nuts.
I've heard that before.
Yeah, no, that would, that's.
And so it's Brooke Shields' story and how she came through this, and she came through it very strong. It was, marrying under Agassi, but, a lot of things happened in her life that are really challenging. And she has a beautiful family and all that. So it was a wonderful documentary. And then I went to see a lot of videos, kind of opened my eyes to all the causes that are happening around the world, and it was interesting. So that's what I'm going to put a video together about, but not just that, but, what we did to set up the network for the artists to be able to work out the deals in the Sheraton. So there was 10 rooms set up in the Sheratons for them to be able to do deals, because these are independent producers bringing, movies to the stage, but they have no Netflix, no Amazon, anything. And a lot of those, before the end of the festival is over, have gotten contracts.
Yeah.
So it's really interesting and eye-opening how, the transgender group, how they're being affected, and then all the animals and all that. So Sundance has a little bit of a slant that way, but it's good that we see that point of view because it opens up our mind and lets us understand some of those struggles that people are going through, and it's really hard. Some of those were just really hard to watch because the injustice in this world is just tremendous.
Yeah. As musicians, I really, really, really like the Indigo Girls. I thought they're Closer to Fine, I think, was the name of the song that I really liked on their first album. And then they did Swamp Ophelia, which I think was their third album, and then I lost track of them. But I liked their music for the longest time. Yeah.
So for the volunteers, the Indigo Girls performed 3 songs for the volunteers. So you got to go in, you had your volunteer, badge, and they let you in, and they performed 3 of those songs. But then we had the show, the video, the movie, and then at the end we had a question and answer session. And I raised my hand and asked a question because I had watched Amy. She hoarded so much content. She had rooms full of stuff. like, videotapes and movie tapes. And that was like 20, 30 years. So I asked the director, I said, how in the heck were you able to not just view all this, categorize this to the premise of the movie? How did you do that? Because I'm looking at, this little video I was showing you here, right?
Right. Yeah.
Your 25 shots,
right.
and then you're looking at 30 years worth of, not crap, but 30 years of archives. And how do you go through all that and then put it together and try to keep it under 2 hours? And then, so the director, answered my question by saying, it wasn't easy. It took me 2 years to do it with 2 other people helping. So that shows you that the passion and the commitment, and it was just amazing. So, my next phase in my life is going to be volunteering and sharing some of the things that I like to help with.
Yeah, I think that's kind of fascinating. You had anything to do with the Sundance Festival, and all film festival and all that. That's just, I don't know anybody else who has been that close to, that sort of production. I just think it's interesting.
Yeah. You get, of course, we're crawling around the floor, routing cables, putting the switches there, running the.
Oh, I didn't say it was glamorous.
Switch to the other, and and then luckily I didn't have to configure the switches. Once I wired them, I was like, "You're all wired. They all have connectivity. Have fun, because I'm not going to VLAN all your stuff, and I'm not going to firewall it. That is your gig, So that was the first week, and then the last 2 weeks, I've skied maybe 9 straight days, and I've been hitting the slopes, having a blast. Been cold, but luckily my host here has everything I need to ski, like heated gloves, heated boots, skis, and I'm like goggles, and all I have to do is show up and put it on and hit the slopes. On top of that, she has a locker right in the middle of the lodge. So I don't even have to take the skis home. I just show up, park the car. Oh, and she has a parking space. So you just pull up, park, walk, open up your locker, put everything on, go out and ski all day, come back, take everything up, put it back in the locker, and then come back. How cool is that? So,
a little spoiled.
Beyond that. It's just, it's been amazing.
Yeah.
And it's been really fun. Super freaking fucking fun,
So anyway, the question is, do they do this again next year, Al, and are you going back?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they've been doing this since 31 years now.
Yeah, Sundance is every year. So it's a big film festival.
Yeah.
Well, is it in Park City every year, though?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yeah, and so what they do is they have certain venues or movies that they show all the movies at, because you have so many independent filmmakers making movies, and then you have all these people that have to watch the movies and decide which ones are worthy of the Sundance Festival, right? And then you have to go stand in line an hour ahead of time because of the crowd, at least an hour ahead if you want to get in, because there's so many people coming here, and so you have all the actors, all the directors, and everybody do all this stuff. So I signed up for some really cool stuff too. I did some latte. So you get a latte, okay? And it's all foamy, right? And then you have a presenter up there and show you how to do your latte art, right? There's the cuckoo.
Yeah.
I remember that cuckoo. Anyway, and then you get special food coloring, but it's thicker. And then you got really long, I don't know, you see those bamboo kind of toothpicks thing? You know what I mean? And
Skewers, yeah.
Put them in bread, for sandwiches and stuff. Anyway, you get that,
Yeah.
and then you dip it in the color you want, and you start drawing. So I drew mountains, and because I'm addicted to sunrises and sunsets. So what I wanted to do is a sunrise over the mountain, just like what you see Brad there, those colors in his background. I like the blues, and I like the oranges, and that's why I picked those colors in my Duranafy logo that you see, because of that. And so I picked those colors again, and so anyway, you sign up for all these things that you can do, and they give you all these free stuff. Like you get bottles, and you get Stanley Thermos gave away unbelievable big old thermos that would probably keep your drink hot for probably good 8 hours. So anyway, and then I flew downtown, and I did put another video together. How much time we have? We're almost at it. We're over.
We're at. Yeah.
Yeah, we're at.
So anyway, I'm stuck with that.
I just say that's just bringing up that picture as my background. That's Richmond, Virginia, folks that are watching in the chat and everything. That's why I have my YouTube channel called River City RVA, because that's the James River flows through Richmond, Virginia, and this is from the south side of Richmond looking north towards all the skyline there, which is Al flies a lot there towards the right of the picture and up and down the river through there, and it's just a cool place to go. And during the summertime, especially, wintertime's a little cold, but
yeah,
nice down there.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, it is a pleasure to have you guys join me in this live stream. I want to thank you guys so much, Jenna, Brad,
Well,
Dennis.
thanks for having us on. It's good.
Yeah.
It's fun. Sit around, chit chat, talk about life and drones and everything else, all the above.
Sundance film festivals, that's a topic I didn't think would come up.
Yeah, and
Right.
we'll have to expand on that later. I think that'll be fun.
Oh, it will. That's great.
Well, we'll have to find a nice little spot on the beach, perhaps Friday night, before the festival's on Saturday or something. Get everybody together, have a big ass bonfire on the beach, have a few beers. And
There you go.
Wow.
I could use a bonfire this weekend. I'll be headed up to Harrisburg, Pennsylvania.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
But wouldn't that be
Just checking.
fun?
Oh, you going?
That would be
what?
phenomenal.
The
What's
10-day
going on in
forecast.
Pennsylvania, Dennis?
What's that?
Yeah, what's going
What's
on?
happening in Pennsylvania?
You say, what time am I getting to Pennsylvania?
No, what's happening in Pennsylvania?
Oh, in Pennsylvania, the Great American Sports Show is.
Oh,
going
that's the
on,
thing.
and
Ron, that's the thing
Ron
that
Lockwood
Ron
is
goes
on.
to.
Yeah, Ron Lockwood will be there.
I was
so I'm
going to
gonna
go to
meet
that
up with him.
last year. Oh,
could-
wow. I didn't
if
know
you
he
could-
was going to be there.
If you could be there,
Oh,
let me look at a calendar here real quickly because I.
we can talk off.
Yeah.
The 4th and the 5th. The 4th is Saturday. The 4th and the 5th are the night that both Rodney and I are going to be there. I'm thinking I might stay there the night of the 3rd, but I was just looking that below that night it's going to be 10 degrees Fahrenheit.
Yeah, it's going to be cold this
wow.
weekend, like -8 degrees.
Well, it's supposed to be really cold the end of the week. I wish I'd have known you guys were going. I could have planned. I can't plan it this late now. Well,
Hey, guys.
I was ready. I was going to go last year, but Ron decided he couldn't go, and I had it all planned out to go up there and meet Rodney and drive with him. And I think Dennis, you were going, and there were some other folks that were going last year. I was
Yeah.
ready to go, but then it got canceled. Ron said he couldn't do it or wasn't going to do it.
Right.
But no, I didn't know he was doing it. I didn't know he was doing it this year.
Yeah, he is. I'm sorry. But are you going to be around? Are you going to be around Virginia that week? Because
Yeah.
after that,
Well,
I'm going up to Maine. I have every
Yeah,
intention of
up on
visiting.
by.
I have every intention of visiting Susan Lee. And
Hey, I
Oh,
have the
good
guest room
deal.
we can stay at, so drop them
and
by.
then, so I'm figuring, and I also, because it's in the neighborhood, I stop in and see the folks in Rhode Island, right? I think I have to go through Rhode Island to get to Maine. But anyway, so Mark Fisher and that crew, right? But then
Yeah.
I'll be probably around the 9th or so, I'll be headed back toward home. And I don't know why I wouldn't go straight through Virginia. So if we could possibly meet up, maybe let's you and I talk about it on Messenger or something.
Yeah, we'll have to catch up.
If we could,
Well,
it would
listen,
be great.
guys.
I don't have any. I need to solidify what's happening with Susan, right? And then after I have that pinned down, then I can carve out, the rest of my time, figure it out.
Well, let's sidebar this conversation because I have a hard drop. So I'm
All
going to
right.
say, all right, guys, have a good night.
All right.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks,
on.
everybody.
Appreciate it.
And
Bye,
Everybody in the chat.
Bye, Dennis.
Have a
Thank
good
you
week.
for joining.
Have a
See
good
you
one.
next time.
Let
Bye-bye.
me see where my cursor went because I got to find the end broadcast. There
You
we
don't
go.
need no stinking cursor.
All right, guys.
Bye. Bye, y'all.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.